Hey guys, what's up? It's just Connor here. I hope you have an amazing day as per usual. Now, in today's video, as you can see, we're in a bit of a different setup here. I'm in my hotel room here in Kuala Lumpur. I'm actually seeing an event with a really good friend of mine, Mason Lister, and we actually shot a bit of an interview style video, which you guys will see probably in the next week or so. Just going to get that clipped up and edited. But hopefully the audio is okay. Obviously, it's not the fancy camera setup as per usual, but as you guys very well know, I'm trying to keep up 3 weekly YouTube video uploads, so we are sticking to that schedule, even though it is a Sunday. To be honest with you guys, I'm pretty hungover from a crazy night last night. It was really crazy. Met some amazing people, and yeah, it was a really cool event in general. But without further ado, less about my complaining about how hungover I am. We're going to be talking about today why I honestly believe that sales is by far the #1 skill if you want to build a business in the future, right? And this is going to be coming from experience, considering that I've been there, I've done that, and I've worked with hundreds of coaches by this point and different business owners in the online space, agency owners, all that type of stuff. So I do have a very well, versed, experienced opinion on this. And of course, this is just an opinion. But I think it's if you are looking to get sales as a fundamental foundational skill to start off, if you want to build a business in the future, I generally think it's by far the best skill, and I've got a few reasons why. Okay, so the first one is my experience with agencies, right? So when I first tried to start my own marketing agency many years ago, I failed multiple times. Now, obviously, it would have been because of many variables and many different things like operations, team building, delivery, marketing agency as a business model being a really difficult thing in general. But the one thing was that, I couldn't crack was basically persuading or influencing people to buy my stuff, which this is a thing I'll talk about with coaches here in a second here as well. You gotta understand, if you want to start your own online business or any type of business, you have to be the salesperson of that business, the main captain of the ship, till at least about 50K per month, bare minimum, right? There's this really big trap that a lot of agency owners fall in. In fact, I was actually coaching for a very large program that helps agency owners grow and scale their business, right? And I was primarily coaching sales. And I had a very different opinion to the founder versus myself, right, on how early you should hire a salesperson in an agency. Now, the reason why it's just so important is because if you're at a very infancy stage level of the business and it's not very well matured and it hasn't grown enough to the point where you can sustain a salesperson long term, you have to do it yourself, right? You can't get a beginner because a beginner is probably not going to sell better than you, and they're not even going to last that long because you can't actually pay them a feasible living wage and an income. And then on top of that, you won't attract A players because no one wants, an A player doesn't work for 30 to 50K per month businesses. Personally, myself, the last offer that I worked on full time back in October, I was at the point where if you weren't doing 8 figures, I wouldn't even touch you, right? So there's a different level of standard, especially as you, upgrade your skill level over time. And I think the biggest mistake that people make when they start their own business prematurely is they don't do well at sales. And like I've spoken about in previous videos, how when I was coaching inside that community and doing sales coaching for agency owners and quite a very, top of the line program, or one of the top gurus in the space, is the primary focus is delegating the responsibility to a closer, which is just literally unreasonable. Like it doesn't happen, it doesn't work, because like I mentioned, there's no sustainable income for even a beginner, or an A player is just definitely not going to be attracted to. So you as a founder, when you start your own business, especially if it's service-based, have to be good at skills in sales in itself. You can't outsource it and you can't hire it out. This is why most people struggle to get from 0 to 50K a month. It's not the marketing. The marketing is easy, right? That's a very copy-paste, duplicatable system that many people have built that you don't even have to reinvent the wheel. You buy a coaching program, you buy a mentorship, bang, and you have opportunity in your calendar. Whereas when it comes to sales, you can't hire it out. You can't get someone to do it for you, right? You have to figure it out yourself. And that's why you're forced as a business owner, if you are like a new entrepreneur, to get good at sales. Whether or not you start full-time sales, you learn doing that for the first year, 2 years, 3 years of your career or your entrepreneurial pursuits. you're going to learn it the hard way if you start your own business. And so that's why I recommend most people who want to start their own business in the future is that they essentially start off with sales so they can transition into their own business in the future. Just given that it literally makes running your own business almost effortless at that point. Because if you can sell, if you can persuade, if you can influence people to make a buying decision with you, that's the hard part, right? The easy part is getting the people in the door, right? Obviously, that's a skill that I'm developing right now as we speak. But for me personally, I found that if you're really good at sales, any service-based business, education business, anything like that is really, really, really easy. Because if you can sell your stuff, that's something that you can't hire out, if that makes sense. So that's my first point to do with experience with agencies. Now, my experience with both coaches and like online education businesses is, this is also another bad thing, is if you don't know sales, if you don't learn sales as a foundational or fundamental skill when you start your own business, you are a really, really bad sales leader. And what does that do? It makes your sales reps churn. Your cost to acquire customers is higher. You're spending lots on training and development for reps that aren't going to stay anymore, because the sales leadership is terrible. And believe me when I say this, I've had my fair share of personal experiences with like bad companies that have had bad sales leadership practices in place, and that's obviously lost me as a sales rep. I've also experienced a really good culture as well, and that's been, for me personally, those skills have been able to stack up over time and then integrate within my own business and obviously other businesses that I help grow and scale as well. But I've seen many such cases where it plays out is where a business owner or a founder tries to delegate or outsource sales too fast. They try to grow their own sales team when they don't know what they're trying to do. They overhire for sales reps. They have bad culture fit. They don't know how to train people the right way. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I had a person who I thought was a really, really good account that I introduced as an opportunity to my internal community at the RSA. Right, I said, hey guys, got an opportunity. I might put some of you guys for some interviews. One of our students got on the offer, and he hyped it up saying like, oh my God, it's the best offer in the world. You're going to make so much money. My rep made like $20,000 last month. One of my guys got in, and the sales rep had only sold $30,000 in revenue, not even cash collected in that given calendar month. So these business owners are straight up lying, which is just, like, to get people on the team. And then that same said person, craziness, he had the balls to hire 4 or 5 sales reps at a time with I think 3 applications a day between 5 of them, right? And this is just pure like ignorance, I guess blissful ignorance, if you will. Like, these business owners don't know what they don't know. And so because of the lack of experience in the sales arena, I actually made a post about this on Facebook the other day, and many of the guys in the sales space agreed, is like people are overhiring in their sales teams, right? And this causes so many different issues down the line for the business, and it really prevents them from growing to their fullest potential. So what I've found is those people, every person I've seen that has really got dialed in and focused for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years in sales alone, and then continue to build off that skill into their own business, skyrocketed, done extremely, extremely well. And I know why, is because they can sell their own stuff at first, but then they can also build out their own sales team because they have the acumen and the experience to do it. And then, I guess my final point on this one was, I've already said it, but I think it's important to touch on it again, is building a business is easy when you know sales. Like, it truly is. Example of this, I went from 0 to 40K a month in monthly recurring revenue in my short form content agency from October to like February or something like that. I was like, basically November I started doing it, so technically like January, February range. And obviously I've grown the RSA organically very, very quickly. And obviously one thing as well that most people don't talk about when it comes to sales or like the online coaching industry is, because you are selling multiple different offers, if you want to start your own business in the future, why don't you sell a business coaching offer and learn how to grow a business, right? Why don't you consult with businesses and help out in that arena for some of the coaches out there that are multi 6, 7, 8 figure companies and coaches. you learn a lot over time. And for me personally, I've learned a lot of amazing practices on how to build an amazing product, right? Grow by word of mouth, because primarily for the RSA, at the moment, we're really accepting about 4 or 5 people a week, and we're literally at capacity right now. I don't know how many people we've done this week. It's been a crazy week. It's definitely been a lot, but those skills that I've learned and accumulated over time has blended into the business I've created now, and it's gone like this, right, for a couple of years, like up and down, and then it's absolutely skyrocketed, which is an amazing feeling. But I know that it's the accumulation of all the skills that I've developed and built over many, many years, selling all these different things. And I just think sales is by far the best skill to start out with. Obviously, marketing's fantastic and things like that. I think obviously it's a great skill to get good leads in, and like very, very warmed up leads at that point too. But yeah, just having the skill of sales is just, to me, unbeatable. If you can sell anything, especially for your own business, selling for your own business is 10 times easier than selling for another's, right? That's definitely a big thing. It's called the founder effect, but that's for another video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little sit down today. I know it was a little bit all over the place, as some of these videos are, but maybe you got some few key insights, maybe you got some takeaways, and yeah, hopefully you had an amazing week. And I will be posting, I'm probably going to be posting Rasal's recording this next week, which will be super exciting. I already recorded that one this week. I was going to post it today, but I don't want to have any issues with the company that I used to work with previously by posting it. So I'm going to record another one on a different Rasal's call recording. I'm also going to be releasing a little podcast with my friend Mason, which is going to be really cool. A lot of B-roll shots, really, really, really cool stuff, high quality edited footage as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video.